All right, my friends, welcome to another Let's Talk with the Doc. I'm excited to be here as always. And I know every week I say the same thing. I sound like a scratch record because I'm really excited to be here. And especially some of my guests are fascinating and interesting human beings. And this is no exception because I have Bishop Rudolph Daley with me tonight on Let's Talk with the Doc. And I can't wait. I can't wait to hear his story because I'm sure he's got a great story coming from far. But hey, you never know what the story is until you hear it. So when I come back, I'm going to be talking to the bishop to find out what is his real story and the long journey that he's had. So stay with me, my friends. I come back. I'm going to be talking to Bishop Rudolph Daley. Stay right there, my friends. When we come back, we'll start the conversation.
Thank you.
OR Bishop presents Let's Talk with the Doc. Grace Without Borders podcast. A thought for you. Ask Pastor. And a whole lot more. You never know what's next or who will join the conversation. All right, so here we are, my friends, and I am with Bishop Rudolph Daley. I'm excited to have him on the program tonight because then I get to find out something that he wouldn't tell me under normal circumstances. Then I get to find out some things about him. Bishop Daley, welcome to Let's Talk with the Doc. Good to have you.
Thank you very much, Doc, for having me. And it's my pleasure joining you this afternoon.
All right. So welcome. Normally, I like to find out. Number one, a lot of people think they don't have a story. A lot of people think they don't have a story because they say, I don't have no story, and then until they begin to tell it, they realize, oh, that's really my story, and that's a fascinating story. And I guarantee a lot of people who you associated with for decades maybe don't know some things about Rudolph Daley until we're gonna have a conversation tonight. So you're free to say what you want to say and what you don't want to say. You're free to not say it. But I like to probe to find out, who is Rudolph Daley? Tell me and the rest of us, where were Rudolph Daley born? What was his family dynamics? Does he have siblings? Where did he fall in the group, etc.? And then we start off from there.
Well, I was born in the most beautiful parish in Jamaica, in the parish of Westmoreland.
Okay, everybody will say that. All right, we can take that.
A district they call Kilmarnock, which is, it's associated with the British. It was given by the British, Kilmarnock. And that's where I was born. And in the 3rd of November,
okay,
1949.
All right.
Right.
So number one, I didn't know you were born in Westmoreland. That's news to me already. I didn't know which parish. I don't know where in the world you were born. So Westmoreland, okay.
Yes. And I'm the only child of my mom.
Okay.
Floret Dunkley Scott. I'm the only child. I have other siblings by my father's side, my brother, Calvin Daley. We grew up together along with a cousin of mine, Derek Songster, who we all grew together, sleep in the same bed, all three of us.
Okay.
Right. And so it was a journey where my grandmother, I call her Mommy and Poppy, Benjamin Daley, my grandfather, my grandmother, Anna Daley, wonderful woman of God, grew me up in Sunday school, in the Presbyterian church, go to church without shoes. Whether you have a buck toe or not, but you have to go to church.
Yes, indeed.
And you have to go to church. They will send you to church, and they're not leaving you at home. So I was growing up in the church, the Presbyterian church in Kilmarnock. And there I went to the primary school in Kilmarnock and have some wonderful time. But good times and bad times. You meet some teachers, principals, which were very rough in those days. And I would never forget a teacher by the name of Teacher Thompson, who gave me some real stroke. Because I was a rude boy, you know.
But that's the point. That's the point I was trying to get, and we're gonna try to get to, because if if they say you deserve it, then you earn it. So.
Yes. So
what kind of mischievous boy were you? What were your bad attitudes?
Bad attitudes was, one, I love to ride horse, donkey, and I was a girly boy, you know.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes. You would always, anywhere you find me, you would find me around the girls.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, so you're a fisher boy.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
So
I would have never thought that I thought you were like an angel boy growing up,
Well, I don't believe none of us was born as an angel. But growing up in school, Teacher Thompson, and I just want to give this story about, that's why I'm always be on time. Because Teacher Thompson embedded that in my mind. Going to school, he introduced something in school that I will never forget. If you late Monday morning, you get 2 strokes.
Okay.
And every morning it doubles.
Really?
So Friday morning, this day in question, the Friday, I was late to school. And Teacher Thompson got me 10 strokes.
So you were late. So you were late every day for the week.
No.
Just Friday.
No. The thing is, once you're late Monday, if you come late, it do not apply to the same person.
Okay.
So it just keep multiplying each day.
So you want to make sure, if you're going to be late, make sure it's Monday and not Friday.
Right. So if you late Friday, then you're gonna get
all hell break loose Friday.
All hell break loose, my brother. And it was not a pretty thing for me. And because of that, it has developed in me an attitude of always being early.
So that is like post-traumatic stress trauma that lives with you forever. Like, if I'm late, I think that the teacher's gonna be on my back if I'm late again.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Even after 50, 60 years, I'm still feeling like he's coming.
Right, and it did me good, because from that day until I leave school, I always get the prize for the most punctual boy.
Oh, wow.
So it was rough. Yes, it taught me a lesson, but at the end, it bring result.
It shaped you.
It shaped me. right?
Oh wow, wow. What age was that when you had those experiences?
Well, about in age 9, growing up, I leave school. I dropped out of school, by the way. I didn't get the opportunity to complete school because my family was not that. I did not get to say pass any. In those days, it was what I don't even remember what exam you normally take
Yeah,
to go.
I forget those early ones too until they come up
Right.
with
But but I did not get the opportunity to go to high school or anything like that. But I always wanted to go to Manning High because Manning High is the oldest school in Jamaica. Started in the 1700, right? So it was always a privilege for me to want to go to Manning. But unfortunately, I did not get to go. But I made myself, I made myself, what you should call now, apply myself to learning, reading, and understanding. And that's what made me to where I am today.
Oh well, good. Wait, listen, kudos to you. I guarantee that there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people can say the same thing.
Yes.
They didn't have the opportunity in their childhood days. They weren't privileged like some people in the childhood days. But as they grow up and they discover what life demands and what they want to pursue, then they pursue it because opportunity comes and they say, you know what, I didn't have it then, but I'm gonna go after it now. And a lot of people have done tremendously well by being determined to
Be,
achieve that.
right, being determined.
Right.
And that was one of my mantras. Be determined. And it says it's not where you come from, but where you desire to go.
All right. All right.
Right.
All right. All right. All
And
right.
that's what I look at. Not don't look keep looking back, looking forward.
One of my saying, and if you follow me, you maybe hear me say that there is a reason why your windshield is maybe 100 times or more bigger than your rear view mirror,
Yes.
because
That
your rear view mirror is only for you to glance where you're coming from, but your windshield is to stay
take
focused on what
you
you.
focus, right?
Yeah. All right. That's a
And,
big.
and that's what keep me focused. When I so happened that I leave from Kilmarnock, I end up in Clarendon, in Lyland Town, Clarendon. And my journey, although I grew up in church, I
Before
was not,
before before we get to the growing up in church, we're gonna find out what the church, where the church life began.
yeah,
But you say you left Kilmarnock and you end up in Clarendon. That sounds like I fall asleep and I wake up there. What was the journey and the process of getting there?
it was a journey that was not so pleasant because I told you from the beginning that I was fond of the girls, eh?
Oh really? So you
Yeah.
so you got led astray?
No, no, a girl told a lie on me.
Oh.
And my grandmother thought it fit to get me out of the district at that time. And I go to call it now, my dad, but I hate to call that word dad because I believe that if a father do not take care of their children, do not deserve to be called dad.
All right. All right.
That is my philosophy.
I could agree with that.
Right. So it was difficult when I went by him. He started to abuse me. And I end up with a brother, not knowing him, but he took me into his arms and Brother Bird. I never forget that gentleman, Brother Bird. And he helped me till I get a job at a supermarket, paying 2 shilling per week.
Wow.
2 shilling.
Is anybody hear that? 2 shilling per week. I know some people here don't even know what shilling is. You know, some
Yeah,
people
right.
shilling is.
Those days it was pounds.
Yeah, we had pound, shilling, and pence in Jamaica before we become independent, right?
In 69, 68, 69 when we changed the
62. 1962.
60. No, man, we changed to the dollar
Right.
in 1968.
Okay, because we had independence and we got
But we have
independence. Yeah, okay.
independence in
All right.
1960.
Got you. All right.
So
2 shilling a week.
yes,
Well, I mean, those
Well,
days you could take a penny and a farthing and all of that stuff. You could go to shop with a penny and quatty and tuppence.
Quatty and a lot of money.
Tuppence and sixpence. You could buy
A penny and 2 pence.
Yeah, you could buy a whole lot of stuff back then.
Yes,
Right?
yes, a whole lot of stuff back then. And that's how it all revolves in that time with me in Clarendon, in Lioneltown,
Okay.
right?
So your father was living in Clarendon,
Right.
and you were in Westmoreland.
Yes.
And because of the incidents and your favorite species lie on you.
Yes, sir. No, it was not my favorite.
I don't mean that person particular.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of your favorite species.
Right.
So grandma send the boy out of town.
Send me out of,
Was that for your safety or for you not to get in any trouble?
For my safety, because there was that girl had an uncle that want to harm me.
Okay.
And my grandmother was very protective.
Okay.
And so she got something and got me out of the district in the night.
Wow.
Right.
Like Nicodemus.
Yes, like Nicodemus. Yeah.
So I'm curious about what was your relationship with your father before you left to go to where he was?
Not a relationship. He would just now and again, when we were in the country in Kilmarnock, he would just come now and again. But my mother, Floret Scott, then was the guiding force, and my grandmother, my grandfather, they were the one who take responsibility for my life. Although I did not grow with my mother, but every week or holiday I will go by her because she was living in Frome in Westmoreland.
Okay.
And so I would go by her and so forth and spend time with her, come back home on the weekends, prepare to go to school, and Monday morning, Friday again, we would,
So I know back then nobody had phones and can make
No
contacts and
phone.
anything. So I'm curious about when your grandma decided to take you out of where you were in Westmoreland and just take you to where your dad lives. What was the story? Because he didn't expect you coming, I would imagine. So she just show up and say what?
Yes. I do not know how she got contact with him, but yes, he was prepared. He heard that I was coming.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So okay, go ahead.
And then we started to live together. As a father who did not grow you, there was tension.
What age were you by that time? You were old.
I was about 14, up in that age.
So you were at the crazy age too.
Yes, sir.
The crazy age, trying to
Crazy.
discover yourself.
Yes.
Want your freedom, and now they bring you to your father who wants to control.
What control me?
Okay, and so
I remember he wanted to beat me. Let me call the word beat.
yeah, that's how they did it.
Yeah, and I had to take charge.
Really?
Taking charge by holding and telling, you never mind me, so you cannot beat me. Oh boy. So
well, and then the typical father in Jamaica can say, "Well, listen, if you're in my
house,
exactly,
I must control you." And so that was when I couldn't stay by him, honestly.
Okay.
I said I rather to find somewhere, even the Paisley, but I'm not staying by him.
Wow.
Not. But when we go as we go on in the story, I will give you one more thing.
All right. So did you stay? How long did you stay with him?
I don't believe we did stay for 4 months. It did not last long. He did not last long, and he was doing something that I did not like because he was married then, and I saw him abuse his wife, and I did not like it. So both myself and his wife were being abused by
you both were you were in the same boat.
Yes.
Wow.
So I did not appreciate that.
Wow.
Because my mother and my grandmother and my grandfather grew us well. So that's still embedded in my mind and in my heart. And because I said I would not hit a woman nowhere in my life. Thank God, up to today, it do not happen.
So we both can knock board.
Yes.
We both can knock board. We're gonna get to that woman somewhere down the road later. So all right. So where did Rudolph life go now? You didn't stay at your father's place. You moved on to where and what happened?
All right, then I move on to, as I told you, Brother Bird took me, and somehow I know that I have a cousin of mine in Kingston. I then write her, she was living on Walton Park Road, and I wrote her, and she replied back to me, and I went by her in Kingston. And Oakland Road, 7 Oakland Road. Don't forget those. And I stay with her till she moved to East Kingston, of Windward Road.
Okay.
And being on Windward Road, she rent a house. She and her fiance, then 2 rooms. I got one of the rooms, and but that's where the hard life begins.
That's double butt there. Butt tells me that's
that's where the hard life begins. Because
really,
when I stay by her, when you stay by people long, maybe
you overstay your welcome. Overstay your welcome.
Overstay your time.
Overstay your welcome. All right.
Yeah, then they begin to show bad facing.
They have enough for you.
They have enough of me. But she put up with me, and I put up with her too. But I got a job, thank God, and a job where I ride bicycle in Kingston, delivering lunch to. I was working with a restaurant they call Jones Restaurant on 121 Tower Street.
Wow.
Right, and I delivering lunch to people, business place, printry, all over. And then after that, I was offered to to be a chef.
And you were what age? About by that time you were what age?
I was in my 17, 18, right? So
So they offer you to become a chef at 17, 18?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And I took up the offer, and it did help me well.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Let's piggyback a little bit about where did your church life begin? We're gonna get back to that.
Yes, my church life begins in Westland town, Clarendon, at King Street, on the 25th day of December, one night, Christmas night.
So you, by that time, what stage of your life were you in? You know, what stage
I was
of your life?
15. I was 15 then.
Okay, that's after your father.
Yes.
After you left your father's place.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I was walking on King Street, and here I believe it was my first time going down to that road, on King Street, and I hear the clapping and the shouting, because I never used to shouting in church.
Right, because you were a Presbyterian, right?
Presbyterian, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped by the church, and I remember clearly a brother named Amos Daley. He was preaching that night, and the topic of his message was, "What in hell do you need?"
What's the irony with that is a daily preaching to a daily?
A daily, I did not know him, never know him, never met him, but that was his message. And he was talking about Dives and Lazarus, right? And that convicted me that night.
Wow.
1963, right?
Okay.
And when I gave my life to the Lord, you asked me, I never know what I was doing. All I know, I put up my hand, I go to the river. It was Alley River in those days. March from church in the morning when I got baptized, and we marched the river. Bishop B.B. Grant and Elder Henry was my baptizers.
All right.
Right. And I remember Bishop B.B. Grant look at me, and those days you have to take a vow.
Right, thy vows, oh God, are
upon me until death. And Brother Bishop Grant says, "Brother, you ever see a dead man yet?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "But dead man cannot talk." And I believe that's have kept me over the years. I remember that vow.
Yes, sir.
I vow to God are upon me until death.
And they used to make you call your own name. They used to say
yes,
3 times, right?
Daley, right? You know that.
You said 3 times.
Yes, 3 times, man.
Thy vows of God upon me, and thy vows of God upon me, Rudolph Daley.
Daily until death.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God! Yes.
All right. So when you went by your cousin, you were already saved.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So your life.
Coming to Kingston, I was coming from from Westland town to Kingston. I end up at the church at Hyoban Street, Elder Douglas.
Okay.
And I stay at Elder Douglas Church for some time, and I do not know how come, I can't recall how I go to Maxfield. But I start to go to Maxfield Avenue. And I keep going and keep going. And I give credit to Leslie Foger and Brother Brown. He died now.
That's
that was at
that's not
Martha Street.
That's not Singing Brown. That's a different Brown, right?
Martha Street. He was at Martha Street.
Okay.
Owen Brown.
Okay. So he was in New York.
Yeah, in New York.
Okay, all right. Okay, I know that. That was my old friend too.
Right.
And I know Fogar's quite well because those days Fogar was on fire too.
Oh my Lord, man. And Brother Fogar and Owen put me into as an usher.
Oh wow.
In VLB. At that time, I could hardly speak. I have a stammer.
Oh really?
Yes. So if I'm going to say Brother Beckford, I would say Brother Beckford. It took long, right? But God is good. God is good. I don't know how I get rid of this stammer, but God take it away from me.
Good for you.
And that's why I'm here talking today or tonight. I'm grateful to God.
God is amazing. God is amazing.
For His amazing healing power.
Amen. Amen. There's some of us who can testify of divine healing.
Healing. And that was a healing for me that I can. When I listen to me preaching and talking without any stammering,
wow.
I said, to God be the glory.
Good for you. Good for you.
Right.
My friends, I'm talking to Bishop Rudolph Daley, and we're just kind of journeying with him a little bit of his story, and we're just kind of digging into the nitty-gritty because he got a long journey. I can tell you that.
Yes.
All right. So a good time for you to hit your share button and invite your friends to join us, because if you know Rudolph Daley, then you can anticipate this story. If you don't know him, then get ready for it, because there's much more coming. All right. So you're in Kingston, you're moving around, you get an appointment to become a chef or invitation, you accept the invitation. What was that like in a transition? How did you fit into that mold of becoming like a professional, other than the guy that's riding bicycle delivering lunch? Now the guy is called to cook lunch.
Well, it was exciting, to be honest, challenging, but I took up the challenge. And after moving from Jones Restaurant, I went to Paul's 104, Harbor Street, one of the most popular restaurants in those days. And that restaurant was catering for all the ship people that comes into town, because they would dock at down by the harbor, and the head chef, Mr. Moncrief, that God bless his soul, we worked there, me and a guy named McLean, and again I become after 1 year, I become his assistant chef, and it helps me tremendously. Well, I don't want to go over that until you reach there, but it helped me to develop into a professional chef, where I could cook almost everything, Chinese, Italian, name it. I could do it.
So your training was basically hands-on.
Hands-on. I did not went to any school. Well, my school was at really Paul's 104 with Mr. Moncrief.
Okay.
He was a white man, but he really trained us good. And it did help me that after that, I end up in Guantanamo Bay in the United States.
In Cuba.
In Cuba.
Really?
Where I applied for the head chef.
Really?
Yes.
How did that Guantanamo Bay door open? How did that even conceptualize in your mind to say, going to Cuba? How did that even develop? Because back then we call Cuba communist country and all of that stuff. How did that happen?
Well, it happened because the Ministry of Labor
Okay.
normally advertise, and I saw the advertisement and hear it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try this out. And I said, I'm going to try it. And I went for the interview. They interviewed me, fill up my application and everything. And when I got the call that I was successful, I said, wow. And that was a platform for me.
And you were about what age that time?
I was about age 20, go 19, 20.
Wow.
21.
Okay.
And I spent two and a half years in Cuba. But I just let me back up with Cuba. I go to Cuba in Guantanamo Bay, not knowing el español.
Exactly.
But my el supervisor no habla English. So both of us, I couldn't speak Spanish. He couldn't understand me with English. So we were here is another experience in a deep water. So in less than a month, I was able to help myself speaking Spanish.
Really?
Conversation.
Oh, really?
Yes, mucho habla.
Okay, so okay, no, because we know that we know say food in any language, right? Food in any
In a
language.
language. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yes, so I work in Cuba. Well, I got married in 1971 at age 22.
Okay.
At age 22.
71. You're
Yes.
22. So that was right after you come back from Cuba or
Yeah.
what?
Before I go to Cuba.
Oh, before you went to Cuba.
Yes.
Okay, so that's another story, because now we got to run into this beautiful lady now, and so we're coming back to find out, how did you run into this beautiful lady, and what makes she get attached to this? What is that? Because you're cooking, you to give her little bambais or what?
Well, be honest, I keep saying all the while, and I taught this at church. Diana, my wife now for 53 years, she was not in the picture at all. I did have someone else in mind, love her. I believe she did love me too. But when I asked her to get married, she took so long to answer me. I did waiting on her for her to answer me. And when she finally answered me, it was a no. And
Really?
Yes, I was disappointed. I was
wow.
bruised. I was bruised.
She not give you no explanation, just no?
Her explanation was that she was going to study to university.
Oh.
And until she died, she never go to university.
Oh, wow.
Right. But I reserve something. I don't want to say it here.
You are free to say or not to say, so we won't make you say what you don't want to say.
Right. So, but Diana was, as I said, was at Maxwell Avenue, and Sister McDowell. Mm-hmm. Sister McDowell is the setup for this one.
Okay, all right.
Sister McDowell, she normally go by Sister McDowell with her doing things for Sister McDowell, learning trade, dressmaking.
Right.
And Sister McDowell, called me one side and said, "Hey, Rudolph, Daley, look over there." And I looked and I said, "Wow." Right? And I walk with her more than once, go home and so forth. And I'm going home, I popped the word.
So you finally start to cast your net again, or you start to
On the other
online.
side, yes. It took me some time to get healing, though.
Okay, okay.
Over that hurt.
So what about that girl?
That girl,
That
well, you know, the Bible said all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. And that girl eventually backslidden
oh
and leave the church. And I did reflect on that and said, perhaps if I did force my way, I would not be where I am today.
chances are. So what?
Chances are, I said that many times, and I don't want to be too presumptuous about that.
When you know
But
again, when you look back and see how things unfold, you can
unfolded,
only say God foresaw that
saw that.
and know how that would have turned and didn't want that to be my future. So
Right.
all
And
right.
you know, when I planned to get married, Bishop Simit, who was our pastor at Maxfield,
That's R.C. Smith.
R.C. Simit. Oh
The,
my
the,
God,
the inimitable R.C. Smith.
R.C. Simit. And I was afraid to go to him to tell him that I'm going to get married. Because I must say that most persons that I know that R.C. Simit tell not to get married, trust me, it do not work out. So I let my wife know that at the time I said, Diana,
You can take a chance.
if I go to R.C. Simit and R.C. Simit said,
No.
no is no.
Wow.
And if he said yes is yes. And when I went to R.C. Simit that night, that evening, I said to Bishop, Bishop, I said, Overseer, we're not going to call him Overseer. I said, Overseer, sir, I come to have a word with you that I'm planning. You couldn't tell him that you're going to get married. he would run you out. I said to him, sir, I'm thinking of getting married. He said, who is that girl? I said, that girl is that young lady by Sister McDowell. And he said, oh, that pretty girl. And he said, nice girl. Go ahead.
Wow.
Brother, when he said, go ahead, brother,
Wow.
my heart was rejoicing.
And you know, back in the day, I said, cock no weird tail that time, right? You get the approval.
I got the approval.
Wow.
Thank God.
R.C. Smith was like the voice of God back then.
Yes, man. But boy, that gentleman, he was, he have a love for the young people, for everybody, but he was rough.
Oh, dear God. Tell me about the rough.
I said all it while that anyone that have passed through R.C. Simit at 36 Maxwell Avenue, they will make it to heaven.
Well, I'm gonna leave judgment on that because I think
This is my opinion.
And I'm fine, but like me, I think he may be sent on some to hell as well because
but
he may be sent on some to hell.
As I said, Bishop Sibit was spiritual, but rough.
Yeah.
He know how to smooth you down. He know how to put on the strap on you, and so forth.
You were on his good side. A lot of people never fall on his good side. So
no. A lot of people fell on his good side, but you did have to know how to understand Bishop Simit. If you the Goldburn, and I remember all those guys. They were good people. Bishop Simit loved them, but he roughed them. Leslie Fogel, Owen Brown, Winston Sterling, Me and all of those guys, all of us go together.
Those were the Maxwell Avenue generation. I know all of those guys back then.
Maxwell Avenue, Brother Dyer.
Yeah, I know all those young guys, strong young men growing up back then time. You know, I've been around to myself, so you know, I know the RC, I know RC Smith as well.
You have grown with Norris Williams.
Yeah,
and all of us go together at Maxfield.
All right. That's a huge group of young men.
Yes.
Huge group of strong and vibrant young men.
Winston Graham that died. All of us grew together.
Yeah. I remember those days.
Yes.
I remember those days. My friend, I'm talking to Bishop Rudolph Daley, and we're just getting a little glimpse, a little insight in his story. Now we know how he found that beautiful lady that he is married now for 50 plus years, and she's still beautiful. She's still beautiful after all these. She's still beautiful. I haven't seen her in a while. I saw a picture, but she's still beautiful. I love that lady as well. For all those long years. All right. So so you married this beautiful lady, and now your life you found not what you were looking for, but you found what you needed.
Yes, sir. That's it. You see, Jesus know what God know what we needed, and He supply our needs.
Amen. All right. So where did you? So what's next now? Where did your life go now? That was before you went to Cuba. You said.
Yes.
So what did you leave her here? Or you what? How did your life go after you married? Then you go to Cuba. Or what happened?
Well, be honest, after I got married the December of 1971, and in April of 72, I went to Cuba, right? So during those times, I had to back and front from Cuba to Jamaica because my wife was expecting our first child.
All right, so you were productive on both sides pretty quickly too.
Yes, sir. Whatever thou doest, do quickly.
All right.
So I was back and front with our first child, and then I spent, as I said, over 2.5 years in Cuba. Come back into Jamaica. I came back and I got a job. And this is where my whole life continued the chef work. I saw advertisement for a head chef for a restaurant. And it so happened today that I was the first chef that was employed by a restaurant of Jamaica, in Jamaica. The first chef.
Restaurant of Jamaica, that's the name of it.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
You were the first chef employed in Kentucky Fried Chicken in Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes. And it so happened that I know how to cook.
We're gonna get to that because we're gonna get to that part because you know we and my friend, you sticking there with us because we have a little bit of history together, right? We have a little bit of history together. Right, so we're gonna get
that history.
We're gonna get to that part. But maybe I forgot that. Maybe you did tell us that when we were together, but maybe that just kind of went out of my mind. Where was that first Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant?
29A Old Oak Road.
And they were advertising for a chef, and you pick up on that advertisement. And
in fact, all right, let me retract. You know that, yes, that is right. I was going to go to where me and you met.
Right. That's afterward, right?
Afterward.
Okay.
Right? But I end up with, and I spent how many years at restaurant of Jamaica? Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yes. I'm not sure if I remember that part, but maybe you did say because we had a lot of conversations. Maybe we knew where you're coming from with that, but
you knew that, man.
Yeah, I'm sure we heard it because we were
I
kind
was
of.
the head chef at Hall's Delight.
Then we know about Halsey Light for sure. We're gonna get to Halsey Light.
Right.
So then, and after, how did you leave Kentucky? Was it that Brother Hall came to get you there, or what?
Yes, Brother Hall, Asa Hall. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's here with the insurance. I forget you used to be insurance guy too as well.
No, it was after
Yeah,
Hall's Delight.
somebody just wrote you that you were the insurance salesman. So
Well, yes, I got, you remember that burned that I
I'm,
got.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that because that was something. That was something. So
Yes.
so how did you leave Kentucky?
Well, I leave Kentucky because Asa Hall asked me to.
Okay, so he actually wanted you to. Okay,
Right. So he wanted me to, and he offered me more at the
okay,
time
okay.
than what they were offering me. And I leave and go with him because I did know Asa, church-wise brother, and he was an integral part of my spiritual development
Right.
because he would have taken me to the three churches that he were pastoring at the time, which was Padmore, Cavaliers, and Rose Hill.
Roselle. I was in the
Right.
middle at Cavaliers, so
Right. So I would have gone with him. We have a singing group called the Gospel Charmers,
I remember that too.
Petrola Boucher, Claudel Clark, Dustin Mullins, Spencer Maitland, name all of them.
I remember that group. I can tell you.
And that group is invested in us, in Youth for Christ, in Kingston, and all over Jamaica and abroad. The group Gospel Charmers was the group at that time.
I remember the Gospel Chalmers. I remember that.
Yeah.
The Gospel. I was a little bit young, but I remember the Gospel Chalmers. I was Christian boy a long time too. I've been a Christian boy a long time, man. I've been in church a long time too. All right. So you now, my friends, let me tell you, I'm talking to Bishop Rudolph Daley, and somebody didn't know he was a chef, or he's still maybe not doing chef work now, but he's
I'm
a
not
chef.
doing that. I don't do that again.
And a really good chef. I can tell you, a really good chef, because we work together at Hall's Delight. We worked together at Hall's Delight. He was a chef and we were kitchen boys, hanging around trying to do. But let me tell everybody this, because some people never even know that. There is a chicken. There is a chicken, a fried chicken that Hall's Delight had.
Yes.
That nobody else anywhere had the chicken that Hall's Delight had. That was the best fried chicken you could find anywhere until now. And I've not traveled anywhere and find any fried chicken as good as what we had at Hall's Delight.
And that chicken was my trademark, okay? As you know.
Yeah, I know, man. That was the best chicken. That was the best chicken. That was the best chicken.
The ingredients, the seasoning, everything, pressure fried.
That chicken wasn't fried, not deep fried. That chicken was done in a pressure cooker and then put to dry. Put to dry.
Yeah.
That was no crispy old bumpy chicken. That was the best chicken ever, down to every bone in it.
Yes.
Listen, man, let's not stay on the chicken, but that was the best chicken. Yes. If I could have found the ingredients now, I would have tried that chicken at my house right now. If I could have found the egg yolk coloring and some of that stuff that we used to.
I
don't forget that. I don't remember that I used to make the ingredients. We used to put the ingredients together and then do the chicken. But we know that, man. He's a good chef. He was a good chef. Believe me, everything he cooked was good. Oxtail, curry goat, stew peas. He was really good. Soup. He was good.
That's what kept me to come out of the
and then we're gonna get to that soup now.
Yes.
Right? Because that was your downfall.
Yes.
I don't say downfall, but it really did you bad.
It did me bad. When cream of pumpkin soup. Don't forget that.
The cream of
Pumpkin.
I cannot forget that day. Maybe you can share that story. Maybe you
Yes.
can,
When
because that's part of your story.
it was a 15-quart pot of soup ready to serve. I took up the pot off the stove and I turned to put it on the serving table, as you know, and I slide. And that was a day in my life that I thought I was going to die.
Oh my God.
I know you were there.
I hate to remember that.
Yes, sir.
Believe me, I hate to remember that because I've never seen anything like that in my life. My friends were talking about, he took out the pot of soup, ready to be served, took it off the stove, slid with it, and the soup went on his foot.
Every ounce, not
The
even
soup
ounce was
went on his foot. And I'm telling you, in about 3 minutes, in about 2-3 minutes, we could see the flesh.
lifting off.
The flesh lifting off his foot. Believe me.
Was a first and second, third degree burn.
I mean, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was that was a 74, maybe 74, 76.
That was when I leave the cooking.
76. That means I was 20.
Yes.
I was 20 years old.
You and Herbert Salmon.
And Salmon were there, and we were working there. And I remember we were not too far from the public hospital.
Right.
I remember you were driving. What the car you were driving? What's the name of the car?
It was Hillman Hunter.
Hillman Hunter. That's the car that's the Hillman Hunter. My friends, I was the one who drove that Hillman Hunter down to the public hospital, carrying Brother Daley, Bishop Rudolph Daley down there. I wasn't even on driver, but somehow I drove that car down. So believe me, I drove that car, rushed into the hospital. I don't like remember it.
Yeah, it was an awful,
because that talk about trauma. I'm still seeing that in my mind. I never know that could happen.
Yes.
I never know that could happen. That could happen. We were just struck dumb. We couldn't believe what we saw that day.
Yes. But that's what, as I said, that caused me to leave the chef and go into life insurance.
Oh, so that's where that's where you
Yeah, my agent at the time, I was insured with British American. And Miss Block, you remember that brown lady? Who will normally come to me to collect the premium.
Right.
And when she came one day, I asked her, "You believe I can sell insurance?" She said, "Are you willing?" She asked me if I'm serious. I said, "Yes." And she introduced me to her manager. That the office was at Harbor Street, at the corner of Harbor Street and Duke Street. And I went and he spoke to me, Mr. Maxim, and he said he's willing to take me. And I started in April of 1976. And I contracted on the 1st of May, 1976. And from 1976 until now, I'm still a life insurance agent.
Oh, you still do insurance now?
Yes, sir.
What?
48 years.
What?
I'm still in insurance.
You still do insurance now?
Yes, sir. And I'm still
Oh my God. I did what? Wow.
Yes.
No, let me ask you the question. Moving from being a chef to doing insurance, was that trauma? Was that fear? What was the driving force behind that? Because you still had the skills to do it. Was that too overwhelming? What was it?
The fear of going back over the stove.
Yeah. So it's more like a psychological thing.
Psychological effect.
Wow.
I did not want to go back because
Wow.
of the experience
Yeah.
that I had, and it
Wow.
was not a good experience. Every Brother Beckford, if you should be here now, the mark is still on my foot.
Wow. I mean, if the flesh just went off. So I mean, you know,
Right.
that you know, you could imagine that even if it heal up, you're gonna have. I mean,
The
I
mark
don't.
is still there.
We're not trying to be too dramatic and too graphic, my friends, but in 2 minutes, we could see just from the shank of the foot, just see the flesh just like moving down, just moving down. The soup just took it off. I'm just like, God, we never. Anyway, let's move on from that because that is too much trauma.
Yes. But just before you move up, those days I wish to take thanks to my wife, Diana, who stood by me during those rough times. I could not work for over 4 months because of that experience, but my wife, Diana, was my backative. She was working, and she stood all the bills and so forth. And that's why, you know, regardless of what, she is my
Number one.
number one.
My number one. You know what? I'm gonna take a quick break, but listen, I think it's a good time for me to say this because my book entitled "Don't Judge Me by My Scars or Hold Me Hostage to My Past."
Yes.
That is going to be released on July 16. Don't judge me by my scars or hold me hostage to my past. So this is what right on time to talk to Bishop Daley. So this is the book title. It's going to be ready on Amazon any minute. Take a look at this. That book, Don't Judge Me by My Scars or Hold Me Hostage to My Past, will be released on July 16th, my spiritual birthday, 3 days before my real birthday. So that will be available. Everybody need to read that book. If you ever been judged by your scars or held hostage to your past, if you ever judged people or held them hostage, everybody needs to read that book. So pay attention to that. It's already, the Kindle version is available for pre-order, and the paperback will be available on July 16. By the 5th of the month, I should have some copy in my hand here, and will be available to those who want to get an autograph copy from the author in the United States or on its territories. Bishop Daley, oh my God, oh my God. Let's move on. We got to get past all the light because that was terrifying. That was terrifying. It was a good experience because, and we were so happy to have church family together, working with our own pastor, minister. So it was a good experience. But you know, unfortunately, you can keep things together sometimes. Anyway, but I didn't think you were still selling insurance. That is news to me. Wow.
Yeah, man, I'm still there. In fact, I rush home from work to be here.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, sir.
What make you still sell insurance?
The love for it.
Sweet Jesus. I sell insurance too. I sold insurance too when in my young days when I used to ride bike. I was an insurance salesman, but I never stick with it, you know. So God had other plans for me. So.
To me, other than the chef work, is the best job in the whole world.
Wow.
Meeting people, knowing people.
Wow.
I remember Sister Graham, God bless her soul. She just passed on a few months ago. But Sister Graham, I was her insurance agent, and Brother Graham. And I remember Sister Graham, I don't know where she got that cup. I still have it in my possession. The best salesman in the world.
Wow.
She gave me that cup. And I still cherish it. I tried to be the best salesman in the world. And that was that gift to me from Sister Viola Graham. Don't forget it.
I am still in awe. I am still in awe. Believe me, I am in awe. Because if anybody had said to me about Daley and insurance salesman, I would have said, "Oh yeah, you should do that long time ago." But like,
Yes, sir.
I can't believe. So you're gonna sell insurance till you get to your grave?
Well, as long as I'm fit and going, I will be doing it.
Oh my God!
The good thing of it is, although I officially retire because of my track record at Sagicor, Life of Jamaica, then Sagicor now, Life Insurance Company, the president and the vice president have offered me an executive contract.
Wow.
Which and when I was the first one to receive that contract, special contract.
Wow.
And he said, and let me quote, he said, "Daley, Rudy, you deserve to be what you are."
My God.
And they gave me that executive contract, and I'm working it, my boss.
Wow. Man.
Working it with church work and being parish administrative assistant for the parish of Kingston and St. Andrew, being pastor for the church at Maxwell Avenue, supervising 31 churches, and so forth. God is still my God. The mentor of my life is Philippians chapter 3, verse 13.
What?
I can do all things through Christ that strengtheneth me.
Oh my God.
As long as you give me strength, I will be there.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
You got me on that one. You got me. I am in awe. I am in awe. I am in awe. I can't think for all the things that you've been doing that you're still selling insurance.
Yes, sir.
I am at a loss. I'm at a loss. I'm trying to get myself back together because I can't believe it. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Now you're pastor in Maxwell Avenue, you're parish. Now they changed everything from parish overseer to assistant administrator. All this, I'll take it from me.
Don't go there. Please don't go there.
All this crazy foolishness for me, this is all crazy foolishness. So as far as I am concerned, I don't know what all this modification and all this politically correct stuff come. I don't, anyway.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. So okay. So you've been pastoring now tell me about your call to ministry. If you can reflect back at that,
Well, as I said, I was going to Maxfield all my from early in the 70s. But again, in 1973, Bishop Simit recommended me to the church he did not even recommend me, just go to the church and said, "I'm going to appoint this brother as a deacon." I went back to Bishop Simit and told him that deacon is for old man. Because that's how I see it in those days.
Yeah, that's how we thought it was.
All right. And then in Bishop Desmond Graham, came to Maxwell Avenue as our pastor from Maxfield. And we know Brother Graham is a people person.
Mm-hmm.
And we work together. And Sister Graham, Karen and Gary, and all that, And in 1977, I was in a business conference, and Brother Graham was he was calling out some names for lay minister, child, which Ronnie McFarlane, Winston Graham, and then he called Joseph Dyer as trial deacon. Then I thought he was finished. Then I heard him call Rudolph Daley trial deacon.
Trial deacon, of course. Why not?
So that's where.
So at least you felt better because you have a group of young men now. You realize that it's not a whole man thing now.
Not whole man thing. But Bishop Graham has been my mentor. He have mentored me spiritually.
Bishop Graham is a great guy. God bless
him. Sister Graham. These two individuals in my life have made a great impact in my life that I cannot pay them for what they have helped me to be today. All the major appointments that I have received in the church today, Brother Graham.
I am going to say that too, and I maybe said it to him when he was on my program, and I hope to get him back on here one more time. That he has influenced my life. Whatever my life becomes now, Bishop Graham has a say or influence in that. Only heaven will record.
Yes.
But he's a great. He was the one who called my name for pastor too. And they, so I remember I was up in National Arena the last conference up in National Arena when I was up there as a young man, happy go lucky. I heard my name called for Chatsworth. I never even know where in the world Chatsworth was. Never heard of that before. And then when I came, I said, was that my name? That was Bishop Sam was my parish overseer then.
Right.
So that
was in 1989.
88 for me. 88. Yeah. So when your name called, you gotta come down and join your overseer. And I came down and asked Bishop Sam, was that my name, Bishop Graham called? And all him said to me, you know your name.
Well, Bishop Graham, I don't know. Bishop Graham is a good man.
He's an amazing man. He's amazing man. Amazing man.
I have a but, Brother Graham, they almost caused me to die by heart attack.
Yeah.
when I was in the convention in 1989, Clive Brown and myself, Brother Graham appointed me in a committee, chairman for the finance committee. And Clive Brown and I were up there. He was appointed as CPMA director. And so I hear, when he reached the parish overseers I calling the names, I heard him call, going down. And when he reached Westmoreland, I heard he called Light W. Samuel, Westmoreland. So Clive.
So that means he's taking him from Kingston St. Andrew and sending him back to Westmoreland.
Right. So I said to Clive Brown, what is that meaning, man? And so Brother Graham called Kingston and St. Andrew last. And when he called it, when I hear Rudolph Daley, the book that I have in my hand dropped out of my hand, and I said, Jesus Christ. Right? That was a shocking news.
Which year was that again?
1989.
89. Okay.
Convention. And that put me into shock.
Wow.
And then why it put me into shock to Brother Beckford is that knowing the elders that were in the parish, Bishop Joseph, Bishop Cook, and Sister Evangelist at Hollow Road, what was already just
Miriam
Mary
McLeod,
McLeod and all, Sister Gardner,
Gardner, yeah, all those
all of those
stalwarts.
persons, and I said, God, how I'm going to manage? How I'm going to manage? But thank God, it so happened today that I am the longest serving parish overseer in
Wow,
Jamaica at the moment.
man, you
For
do you do you, you do you do
for-
everything long, man. Everything you
for-
do long. What's up with that?
Well, it seems like I come from a longevity of my heritage.
Wow,
Like
wow,
I come and see my great grandmother died at 113.
woo,
Yes, and all of my grandmother, my grandparents died in the 100.
wow,
The only person that died from me early was my mother, because they did a surgery on her and it was not successful.
wow.
So that she is the only person that I know. I have an aunt that died just about 4 years ago. She died at 100. So we are from a long God have blessed us.
So you have a good projection.
Yes,
A
I
good
believe
projection.
by the grace of God, by the grace of God.
If those are your examples, are the what your life is destined to follow, then yeah. Well, who knows? Tomorrow does not promise. But hey, my goodness, yeah. So wow, yeah. You stuck to it for a long time. I remember them days, man. I remember those days.
Yes.
I remember all those days.
There are few people who we move around, Ivan McFarlane, and all of these wonderful people. When I went to Cypress Hall, that was the first church that I pastored.
I remember that too.
Cypress Hall, and there were few people that if you don't mind me highlight, that has helped me. She's now Dr. Eugenie Brown-Myrie, George McFarlane, his wife, Irene, and Barbara Simmet, all of these persons. We were living in Kingston, but we trod the road to Cypress Hall. And I spent 5 years at Cypress Hall.
I remember your Cypress Hall days, man. I remember those Cypress Hall days.
Yes.
Who did go? McFarlane went to Cypress Hall afterward, right?
No, George McFarlane. When
George.
I moved here,
right. That's what I remember. Right.
Yeah, George McFarlane, and then Spencer Maitland, and then Spencer Maitland again 2 times, and then Norma Vieira is now the pastor.
Oh no, Vieira is a pastor in Cypress Hall now.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So,
all these people I know from were young Christians coming up. It's a long time ago, man. God bless everybody. Wow. Oh wow. So what is unfolding now in what
well,
tell me something that I didn't ask you. Tell me something that I didn't ask you that I should have asked.
Well, it seems like you pulled my memory hard, So all I can say, the journey being from country, being to the struggles of life, financially and otherwise, and educationally. I must say I give God thanks that God has helped me. Although I did not get to go to high school, but God have helped me. I've gone through every course in this church that has ever come since I'm in the church. I've gone through them. That is my educational standard. And I give God thanks in 2016-18. Tears came to my eyes when I was graduated from Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary. I never know that I would have got that privilege to be graduated from a university. And with the Masters in Leadership and Ministerial Development, and I'm so grateful.
Blessings.
Thanks to God.
Blessings.
Yes.
I'm like you. I took everything that the church offered.
Everything.
I mean, everything that the church offered, I've gone to them. I got certificates that daub my walls, and at the same time, I was going outside and pursuing my own dreams to where I am today. I am very grateful for that. So,
Yes.
if when we're growing up, they say if you have ambition, you can achieve
You can
things in
make
life.
it.
You can make it if you have ambition. So, yeah.
As I said, it's not where you come from.
Where you going, man?
It's where you're going. The future is bright once we rely upon the Lord.
Yep.
And although I am my age, I still think of doing another study.
Yeah.
Yes, I love psychology. I'm thinking of furthering.
Well, I think I do enough in that part in the pursuit of my chaplaincy.
Yes.
My chaplaincy units. I got 4 units in oh Lord have mercy. My head just snapped a while ago, right?
It does happen to all of us, eh?
Yep. But again, if you have purpose and you have a dream and you pursue your dream and you're determined to do it, then man, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. As doors open, you walk into them, and as you walk into one door, you feel like you can walk into another door, and that's the good thing about pursuing dreams.
Good thing about it.
You open, you say, I didn't think this door would open to me, but here is this door. So then, if it's not open, then there is another door.
Yeah, you know what? I'm grateful that whatsoever I am today is because of God and being a member of the Church of God of Prophecy. I believe God has placed me into a wonderful organization. I'm grateful being the pastor for Maxwell Avenue, the senior pastor. I have Pastor Marjorie Williams as my associate, and other ministers who we call a team. I believe in teamwork. A team of ministers at Maxwell, and I just want to let them know how much I appreciate that.
Let me ask you, and God bless those who are your right hand men and women who keep the things going. Let me ask you, if you, like, for some of us, we've never dream of some things. That for me personally, I never dream of where my life. I couldn't dream.
Never.
I couldn't dream of where my life get to. It was impossible to dream it, or to imagine it, or to say I foresee, so I'm pursuing it. It's just like, okay, I am in this, and so let me make myself as good as I can in it. Have you ever, way back then? Let me ask this question, and this should have been earlier in the conversation. What Rudolph Daley imagined he would have become as a young man? What was your aspiration, your dream when you were like, okay, writing? What was your dream? And say, if I had one thing to choose, I would want to be this thing.
Looking back,
at a young age, when you didn't have
at a young age, one, I did say I wouldn't get married.
You did say you wouldn't.
Would not.
That was before you became a Christian.
Yes, sir.
So you want to be a freelance boy, run with the girls and say, no, you don't want a girl tie you down.
Don't tie me down.
Okay.
That was part of that was one of my philosophies.
Okay, all right.
And then as I said, it changed when I become a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
But my life has made a tremendous turnaround because God have chosen me. I did not choose him.
Right.
He have chosen me. And what I am, as I said, what I am today, I owe it to God Almighty.
So I am curious because when I was a young man, when I was a young boy, not before a young man, I was a young boy, I aspired to be an artist.
Okay, sorry about that.
I
When I
wanted to
was
be I wanted
young,
to be an artist, you know. And until now I can still do some drawing, but I was not able to pursue being an artist because my mother couldn't afford it because going to art school was a big deal back then. So I had to, my skills and all of that stuff were there, but I couldn't bring it to fruition or help it to materialize as I imagined it. So that's one thing that I wanted to become. The other things, they just happen as I go along. So I was curious if you had one thing in your mind that you would have wanted to become, looking at other people when you were young.
one thing I want to become, I did love cricket.
Okay.
I believe I even see myself playing for the West Indies.
Okay.
West Hall and all of those guys, Gary Sobers, Lance Gibbs. And then there were some guys from Australia, the Chaplin, the Crows, name them. I was a cricket. I was a captain for my school. So I developed to love cricket until today. Boy, I tell you, you have got me at a good time because cricket is going on now. So I should be watching cricket.
I believe me, I got you because my wife and I went to one of the World Cup game 3 weeks ago. We've gone to England and I got cricket ticket to go when we went to England, so we could go to Lords to watch cricket. So I've been watching cricket from I was walking with my little boombox radio back in Jamaica all of my years until today. I have Willow on my TV because I have to watch cricket.
I have Willow on
but I didn't aspire to be a cricketer, but I love cricket.
I always see myself as a pace bowler. Right?
I think I would have been an off break bowler if I was.
I was like West Hall. I always admire West Hall, and I said I want to be like him.
Okay.
Right. So those were what I aspired to be, and as I said, I still love cricket. Cricket is dear to my heart.
It's in my bones. It's in my system.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Yes.
I can't help it. When they started playing in Australia, I never sleep at night. I didn't sleep at night when they were playing in Australia when I was a young man. Never sleep at night.
When the first World Cup for 2020 match and 50, I didn't sleep, I stand up in the bed the whole night watching West Indies in Australia. Those were days, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still love cricket to die. Love it to death. Love it to death still. All right. Okay, man, my friends, I've been talking to Bishop Rudolph Daley. And what a story, what a journey. How is your wife doing? By the way, we never talk about how is your wife doing?
My wife is not doing too bad. Give God thanks. We are all getting up in age.
Yeah, so say we.
Yes, but she's doing well, and I give the Lord thanks for her. She, as I said, she is my everything.
Right.
There's something about my wife that if I go out in the night and she's not with me, she's not going to go to bed until I come into this house. She's praying for me. She's a praying woman. And I give God thanks for her support and everything that she has done. I give thanks for. I believe, again, I have a good family, a knitted family.
God bless you. How many children you have?
3 of them.
Three children.
3 children. And a granddaughter. And we are closely knitted together. And so I bless the Lord for my good family. I'm a family man, you know.
God bless you and God bless your family, man. We know that a long time ago, long. Nobody even know how far we coming from.
Yes, sir. You know
how far we coming from. They will never clue how far we coming from. Man. Long.
And I must say that when you were appointed as evangelist for Kingston and St. Lucia, I was the one who appointed you.
Yeah, I forgot that. You're right.
Remember that crusade?
That 10 crusade. I remember that.
On that road and during the park, man.
I remember that.
Those were good days.
I remember that tent. Man. I remember that. I remember that evangelistic crusade. I remember that, man.
And Bishop Jones, Robert Jones.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's a good experience.
Yes, sir. We're coming a long way, man. We're not pop up. We've been around. So tell me now, recently, because recently you had some episode of some illness, and it's great to see you now. How did that go, and what happened? And
well, again, this is another blessing from the Lord. Some time ago, in 2017, I did a surgery, total hip replacement.
Oh, really?
And my right leg, hip, and so it did affect me somehow, but give God thanks. Yesterday, Dr. Eugenie Brown saw me, and he said, Bishop Daley, you're walking very good now. I gave God thanks. That is a blessing. The Lord has healed me. Again, in January, the 30th of January, I took sick again, went into the hospital. I spent 10 days, and I must say, give God thanks. 2 weeks ago, I went back to my doctor after he had run some tests and told me, Mr. Daley, Bishop, you're doing great. Thank God. I have pneumonia, but he said everything, my lungs and everything is now back to normal.
That's good.
Again, to God be the glory.
That's good.
God be the glory.
That's good.
God be the glory.
And we don't have to inquire, because here you are talking, telling your own story. So
yes.
Everybody can see you and hear you loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
My friends, I'm so happy to talk to Bishop Rudolph Daley. Oh my God. We had some connected issues and some connected tissues all of these years. And if you're just joining us, you didn't hear the rest of the program. Once we close it out, it'd be good for you to go back and listen. This is a good story. Good story of the goodness of God. Good story of God's goodness, and all of our lives have its colors and its ups and downs and etc.
Yes.
What else really want? Let me take one final 2 minutes, and then we come back and you can make your wrap up, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me play a couple of ads here, and then come right back, and then you can do your wrap up. This is the book they've been talking about. The 7 churches of Asia Minor, or the 7 churches in Revelation. If you want to know about the letters that Jesus sent to these churches, you gotta get yourself a copy of this book. Scan the QR code to get an ebook or a paperback, and then you can find out a lot more about these churches and the letters Jesus sent to them.
Wednesday, 8 p.m. Join ORB Ministries on Let's Talk with the Doc. Live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. There is a story, something to encourage and inspire you. You may even have a life-changing experience. You never know what's next or who will join the conversation. Stay connected. Subscribe to ORB Ministries YouTube channel. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Everyone has a story. Do you want to tell yours? Stories are inspirational and unique. Maybe God wants to use your story as a life changer for someone. But that will never happen unless you share your story. Not only that it could be a life changer for somebody, but it could change your life as well as you release yourself. Let it go and inspire someone. That will not happen unless you share it. Remember, your light can't shine covered under a bushel. Do you want to share your story? Email orbministries@gmail.com and let's talk with the doc. Only heaven will record the impact you might have and the lives you will change as you share. Maybe that's a ministry God has given you to be a source of inspiration, a testimony of God's goodness and how you made it. Are you ready? Let's do it. All right, my friends. That, as I said, that book you just saw there, "Don't Judge Me by My Scars or Hold Me Hostage to My Past," that will be available on Amazon July 16th on my spiritual birthday, 3 days before my natural birthday. If you have been judged by your scars, held hostage to your past, or if you have judged anybody by their scars or hold them hostage to their past, you must get a copy of that book. By July 6th, I will have copies in my hand. I will have copies in my hand so I can autograph, and somebody can get an autograph copy of that one. But you got to get a copy of that. All right, Bishop, give us your wrap up.
Well, I want to say, give God thanks for this opportunity that I have. Well, this is my first time doing an interview so long. And I want to say to you, Doc, and to your family, your wife, and please convey my love to her.
I will do that.
From my family to her. And I want to say thank you for this opportunity and this privilege that you have given unto me to share. In fact, I want to write a book on my journey too. That is a part of. I actually started it, but not completed.
Well, you got to start right now because you're not sure you're going to do 113 like your auntie or your grandma.
So I am going to look at it some more. I have some things, jottings and so forth, but I believe I'm going to do that. My journey, and that is the topic of I'm thinking of my journey.
My journey.
Right. In fact, if I should even put a little thing on it, from rugs to where.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna look from rags to riches.
From rugs.
You're gonna keep the riches out of it. So you're gonna say from rags to a full suit.
Right. Full suit, from rugs to riches. Right. Because as you mentioned, where you're coming from and where you are at today,
yes,
you have to give God thanks. Right? The writer says, not by might, nor by power,
Amen.
By His Spirit, said the Lord. So it is just wonderful. And I want to say thank you. Thanks to, as I said, I know that the Maxwell Avenue people are with me here tonight. Say thanks to them and the parish of Kingston and St. Andrew, all the pastors and all over the world, I want to say thank you. Right.
Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me and Bishop Daley and journeying with us. And who knows, maybe we will have another conversation sometime before either of us are gone. You never know.
We don't know.
You never know what's going to happen, right?
And I will make myself available.
Okay, great. But great. What am I hearing? I'm hearing a bit of feedback. I'm not sure. And by the way, if you have a story, you want to share your story, my friends, you have an opportunity. I'll be more than happy to air your story. Just email me orbministers@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to air your story. You want to tell it? Stories are inspirational. They are life changers, and you never know what it will do until you share it. All right? So tell me your story, link up with me, and we will surely to hear your story. Follow me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And by the way, ORB Ministries is also on TikTok. So if you do TikTok, go check us out, check me out, and follow me on TikTok and stay connected.
I see you on all of those.
We can do a whole lot of things together if we link up. All right, my friends?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. By the way, does anybody have a question? We got a couple more minutes. Anybody want to ask Bishop Daley a question? You have an opportunity. Anybody want to ask him a question before we say goodbye? Do you want to ask him a question? Let me link you up on the side. So if you want to ask him a question, anybody want to ask me a question, you have an opportunity to do that right here. Don't be afraid. Maxwell Avenue, Kingston and St. Andrew. Your parish representative, you want to ask him a question? Now you can't. You have to answer it now if you ask it. Tell him we love him. he sees that, right? Blossom Galloway, so tell him we love him.
Yes.
Dr. Derek Daley, say hi. So, all right. Yes. Who else want to say, give a shout out to Bishop Daley? You're all there. A lot of you are there.
In fact, I married Derek, you see.
Oh, you did?
Yes, sir.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, holy Bishop. Well, he was born 1949.
I will be 75 in November.
He was born 1949, so you got it. So you married Derek Daley?
Yes.
So Derek Daley a young man then, man?
Yeah, man. Young boy to me.
A young man that, man?
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the guy married long time. I've been married from 1978, man. Come on.
No, you married long time before you, man.
1978, man. I'm going 46 years behind my belt and still counting.
Yes.
Sherry Maxwell said we love you. God bless you, yes. Bishop Daley from okay. All right. All right.
Okay.
He's my marriage officer. We had great fun during counseling. That is Seringal, if I call it right. Nori Graham, 1983 for me. Derek. All right.
Right. I you know.
Gary. Oh, Gary Graham.
Gary Graham is here. Okay.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, I married. My total marriage to date is 331 person I'm married since.
All right.
Marriage officer.
All right. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. I remember the long days ago when there were only like 2 people as marriage officers in Jamaica.
Yep.
You're gonna be Asa Hall or Taylor. Those are the 2 marriage officers.
And Justice of the Peace.
And yeah.
I'm a justice of the peace for the past 36 years.
Andrea Best, so you drove her on her wedding day. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who's that?
Andrea Best.
Okay. I do not even remember some of them unless I make a great mistake.
Andrea Best is in Barbados.
Who? Oh yes, it's Best. She was. Yes, I know Andrea Best. Yes.
All right. Gary, good to see you, man. Up in are you in England or you're in the United States? Where are you? remember that we have a next conversation. We need to get you and the bishop together. We can get you and the bishop. So set that up, Brother Gary, and let me know, because I want to chat with you and the bishop before it's too late for either of us. All right, my friends. Thank you for joining us. Everybody is saying they love your bishop.
Yeah, man, I see. You know, I just said love. Can I just, you know, when I went to the hospital in January, honestly, I know people love me, but I never know that I was so loved by my church constituency all over the world. The love and the concern that they share it made me cry because of the love that I felt. When people say there's no love in the church, please let us mash down that. We have people who know God, who love God and love people, right? That is part of my theme of my heart. That is loving God and loving people.
Amen.
Right? Loving God and loving people.
That's the bottom line. And as a matter of fact, you know, God wants us to love people like how He loves us.
Love people, right?
Like how He loves us. So that's a challenge for all of us. All right, my friends. Well, thank you for joining me and spending some time with me and the bishop tonight. It's been a fun time, and I'm glad I'm able to share this time with you. I look forward to seeing you again on another Let's Talk with the Doc. And by the way, you could be next, but you have to make contact with me, right? Just email me, submit the questions, email me or message me through Facebook or through TikTok or through somewhere, and just, hey, if you got my WhatsApp information, just make some connection. We can get you on to chat with the doc. Until next time, my friends, which country in the world do you want to go that you have not gone to as yet?
Well, okay. Let me say that because of the insurance, in the life insurance business, I have traveled 31 states in the United States. Been a member of the $1 Million Round Table.
Really?
I've been 25 consecutive years of being a member of the $1 Million Round Table.
Man, oh man!
Honor roll member.
And you tell me you don't want to ride from rags to riches.
No, and being I've been to Alaska, Ireland, name it. My first visit out of Bishop Graham invited me to London, in Birmingham, when he was the National Overseer in Birmingham. In London, he invited me in 1997. That was a tremendous experience for me. Going to London. I never want to go to England because I always said the flight is too long.
Flight is too long. England is just around the corner. I've been to India twice.
But when my first time flying from Miami to I believe it was California, it was a long flight.
Yeah, it's like 5-6 hours.
6 hours. And I said then, if I can go to fly from Miami to California, I can go to England. And that's how I come to go to England.
Well, good for you.
Bishop Graham was that invitee that invited me to England.
I'm not crazy about flight, but I did 15 and a half hours wheels up, wheels down from Chicago to India.
Yes.
15 and a half hours wheels up, wheels down.
Yes.
I'm not too excited about that anymore, but
I don't want to go that far.
I think I've had my cup full. I think I have my cup full of long flights. Anyway, my friends, thank you for joining us. It's been a fun evening. Thank you, I have Bishop Daley with me. Thank you for joining us. Gary up in England, way up in the wee hours of the morning there. Gary is still linking up with us. So best wishes to you, my friend. Hope to see you soon. Hope to chat with you soon as well. I'll see you again next week, my friends. Next week, we're going to have another conversation on, I think that's going to be, who I have next week? Oh, I think I have Glenn Johnson next week.
Glenn Johnson, yes.
I think I have Glenn Johnson next week. Glenn Johnson. Okay, Gary, I'm looking forward to talking with you again. I have Glenn Johnson next week. So stay connected, my friends. The door is open for you to join me. Until next time, blessings to you. Have a good evening. Peace and stay strong. Daley, you're going to stay there. We're going to go off like how we came on.
Okay.
See you again next time, my friends. And by the way, you can still share this. Once you say good night, you can share this. So until next time, be good to yourself. Be safe. Be focused, and don't forget, where you're coming from is history, where you're going is destiny.
Destiny.
God bless you. Well, thank you for checking in on ORB Ministries. I trust that you will share with your friends, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, and stay tuned, because you never know what's next or who will join the conversation.